Alien Romulus is the newest entry to the Alien franchise, a rich tapestry of film that has been building since 1979 with Alien, followed by Aliens, then Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, Alien Erection, Alien vs. Predator, or AVP for short, Alien vs. Predator Requiem, or AVP Requiem for short, Prometheus, Alien Coven shit. No, I was right there. Monsters vs. Aliens, Alien Ant Farm, Elf. Today, though, Alien Romulus is out in theaters and I saw it. So where does it stack up in this franchise? What do I think about this film? Let's find out in a spoiler-free review right now. Alien Romy and Michelle's high school reunion is rated R. It's a little under 2 hours, it's full of violence, swearing, some gore, and good old-fashioned scares. And I'm not gonna beat around the Xenomorph, I freaking ate this movie up. Yum, 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 yum. I had a great time. But I can also completely understand why you might go to this movie and have a terrible time. Because this is one of those somewhat safer, soft reboots. It does take place after Alien, but prior to Aliens, I believe. It has that very retro aesthetic you saw in the original Alien. It has some of the same camera shots you saw in the original Alien. It has teenager Ripley. It's not Ripley, it's a different character altogether, but come on. They're all Ripley every time we do these kind of things. It's always a new Ripley. Disney owns Alien now, along with pretty much everything else, so we have a younger generation of characters so that we can make 15 more of these films down the road, if anyone, in fact, survives this thing. I'll let you know in a spoiler review, which will be later this week. So feel free to subscribe to the channel if you like my commentary. You could even like the video if you want to go that extra step. I would appreciate it. But yeah, I post a lot of videos every week, all movie related, all the time. You have the over-the-top douchebag character who hates synthetics, and that will be pretty much his only character trait, and you will be actively rooting for him to die every chance there is. There's a boring pretty boy guy, there's a couple other chicks that are just there to fill out the roster, and that's perfectly fine because when I go to an Alien movie, I want atmosphere, I want some scares, I want that cool-ass Xenomorph front and center. And thankfully, we get all of that and more. There's face huggers running around, jumping all over the place. There's explosions. There's ship docking. If you're a big fan of docking ships, you get like 15 different docking moments. What an experience for dockers out there. Kaylee Spaney plays Rain, aka Ripley. She and her android companion, Andy, are going to be the central focus of this film. I know they're called synthetics. It's just a weird word for me to say. It always has been. So android, synthetic, potato, potato, tomato, tomato, whatever you want to go with is fine. They have a sympathetic backstory. They are marooned on this garbage planet that has no sunlight, mining day in and day out. She finally earns enough credits to get off this god's forsaken rock, but unfortunately the company, that sketchy ass company we've all grown to love over the Alien franchise, Wayland Industries, decided to up the amount of time needed by double. So she's not going anywhere. Or is she? Because it just so happens Lady Luck might be on her side, as a decommissioned space station just so happens to be in their purview. So she and a bunch of other guys are gonna get on this thing and try to blow out of Dodge. And of course, things go off without a hitch. That's all I'm going to give you as far as story is concerned. Now, as far as the reason people might not like this film, it's because it does the same thing other soft reboots do. The Force Awakens, Jurassic World, it's familiar. You're going back to that original Alien look. And again, some of the same camera shots, catchphrases, and the way this movie kind of beat for beat plays out. That's not to say this movie doesn't take some risks, take a few chances. I think it does. And I'm like back and forth on whether or not they were good ideas, but at the end of the day, I was very hooked on this film. I think it really does keep you on the edge of your seat. It's intense as shit. I don't think it's like necessarily scary at all, but there were definitely moments where, yeah, I can see audiences being very panicked about what's to come or what's beyond the next corridor. Visually, this thing looks beautiful. I think it's the prettiest of the Alien movies, full stop, because it has the luxury of modern tech and it gets the blueprint of what came before and what people loved. It takes both, meshes them together almost effortlessly. There's practical effects, there's of course some CG in the mix, but I thought it all looked very good. Score is amazing as well. I really don't have a lot of bad things to say about this movie other than, yeah, I could see the familiarity being annoying, because when you go from Alien to Aliens, there is a complete switch of movies. You're watching two very different films set in the same universe. One's a horror thriller, the next is an action film, and even the third movie has a different vibe, which is to say terrible. And then there's Alien Resurrection, which is this campy, schlocky, silly film that I actually enjoy, but I understand that I'm in the minority on that. And again, if Alien 3 wasn't so bad and we kept continuing the solid story of the first two films, then yeah, Resurrections would be horrible. But because I already came from something bad, in contrast, it was just a fun change of pace. Now with Romulus, it feels like we're back to basics, we're getting good sci-fi horror again, and for that I'm thankful, even if it is a bit of copy and paste. I think I'm going to leave it there. You will find on this channel that oftentimes my positive reviews are quite a bit shorter than my negative ones. Because when I really like a film, I don't want to ruin it for people. I want them to go out and watch it and make up their own mind. They may not agree with me, but I still want to give them that opportunity to see for themselves. So there you have it. I will have a spoiler video just to remind you. So again, think about subscribing to the channel. Please leave a comment if you like this film or if you did not, and let me know why without spoilers. I will remove that crap if I see it. If you love what I'm doing here, please think about supporting the channel by becoming a patron at patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. Different tier levels, different ways you can support. There's obviously perks that come along with it. And lastly, I have a second channel, Adam Does Rants, where I'm just complaining in a comedic fashion about first world problems. Just hoping to put a smile on your face at the end of the day. Maybe a chuckle after watching something a little heavier, like Alien Romulus. Hopefully I see you around. Take care.